Asking is if the PA is sending him.
Corruption in Uganda has turned out to be a monster devouring taxpayers' money left, right and center. Although the government is trying to fight the vice, a lot of loopholes in accounting systems are still being exploited by the corrupt officials. Last year, the government embarked on tightening its screws, which resulted in the prosecution of officers from the Public Service Ministry and the Prime Minister's office. Since then, a number of efforts of fighting corruption has been brought forward by the civil society members and legislators. One of them is the Anti-Corruption Bill 2012 that was moved by the Machinde East MP John Simbwa.
And these provisions are aimed at confiscating the property of those who have been convicted of corruption. And it is aimed at widening the net to ensure that even property belonging to the close relatives of the convicted person are convicted legally. In case the property for the convicted person is not enough to cover the confiscation order.
The proposed bill seeks to amend certain provisions of the Anti-Corruption Act of 2009, which the MP deemed too lenient for corrupt officials. The bill is currently in its final stages and is soon expected to be tabled on the floor of Parliament.
We have got the certificate of financial implication. We have also passed the motion on the floor of Parliament. The Director of Legal in Parliament, as required by law, is printing and gazetting this bill. And after gazetting the bill, then we shall table it for the first reading.
The war against corruption, the laws we have now are not really, because it says it has to be proved beyond a reasonable doubt that someone has stolen or someone is corrupt. That element of proof is very difficult.
But some critics argue that the bill is fine in its current form, although they have raised concerns about the challenge of identifying property owned by corrupt officials, considering that nowadays some officials hide their property in other names.
Some of the properties are not within Uganda. Do we have enough capacity? Do we have enough laws that can help us identify?
Somebody will get property and they put the names of a friend. So we have to put a system in place that double checks where is the money coming from that is putting up a building, where is money coming from that is buying a hotel, where is money coming from that is buying a very luxurious vehicle.
Though these anti-corruption efforts all seem to be well, some critics argue that the bill should have been focused more on the procurement department.
Of the problem of procurement process. It is so faulted and it has so many players, and it's the main cause of corruption. You have PPDA, which is so lengthy. You look at the system, it starts with the advertising, it goes into evaluation. Because you're involving so many people, the sum of money is so huge, companies have access to knowing who is doing what and who is doing what. I think as Parliament we need to revisit the whole procurement process.
The bill was received by many legislators, but at some point, allegations were rife about government planning to hijack it and replace it with a watered-down version.
The executive want to hijack the spirit of the law. There are many laws which have been made in this country, and they lack that spirit of enforcement. That is why you see we have what people call good laws. We have got many laws, but they lack the spirit. That is one. Two, it is also about egoism. Some people believe it is them to come out with this law.
It hasn't come before cabinet that I sit, but when it comes, definitely, you should be rest assured that there are so many good members in cabinet and in government who are wishing well for Ugandans and who are really tired of this looting. We are fed up and we need to put an end to this.
Another school of thought suggests that people who have overstayed in government offices are the cause of corruption.
But you find you have people who have stayed in offices for more than 20 years and is an accounting officer. That is breeding corruption at the end of the day.
Once the bill is passed into law, the state will confiscate properties belonging to people convicted of corruption. The law will also task employers with knowledge about the ownership of properties of suspects to report to police, the Inspectorate of Government, or the Director of Public Prosecution. Maurice Ochol, NTV.